Welcome to Bratislava in Slovakia for the final day of the 2021 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships. 235 athletes from 45 nations have gathered here to contest the 41st edition of these championships. And of course they were last held here in Bratislava on the mighty River Danube in 2011, 10 years ago. So today it is the canoe semi-finals time. The women's and men's canoe athletes will fight it out for places in the 10-boat World Championship finals. 30 boats from the heats went through into these semi-finals, and they will race in reverse order of those performances in the heats. So weather conditions here, another beautiful autumn sunshine day, but still a little bit fresh in the morning. Myself, Andy Maddock, in the commentary box, and I am delighted to welcome into the booth the world champion from yesterday, and of course the Olympic champion from Tokyo 2020, Ricarda Funk of Germany. Welcome.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Well, many congratulations on an outstanding performance yesterday, and of course at the Tokyo Games. We can talk more about that in due course, I'm sure, but here we see the schedule. And it is women's canoe semi-final time. So the athletes kneeling in the boat with a single-bladed paddle. And they have to negotiate this 23-gate course designed by Marianne Aguilon of France and Irati Goikechea of Spain. And, well, here is the start list. Our 30 boats competing. Ricarda, what do you think about the course design? It's a difficult, challenging course.
Yeah, definitely. It's really a tricky course from the top to down, especially gate 8, 9, but also 11, 12, and it goes on until to the big drop. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how the girls are doing it.
Yeah, based on yesterday, I think one thing we can be certain of is you can expect the unexpected, and you can do all of the hard work up till gate 19. But you still have to deliver the bottom drop. If you don't do that, then all that hard work goes to waste. So we are ready to get underway. It is women's canoe semi-final time. 30 boats will get lined down to just 10 in the final. That final will be live at Planet Canoe later on this morning, 11:30 Central European time. You can follow the action. But first up, for the Russian Canoe Federation, it is Polina Mugalieva, World Championship finalist in 2017 on the Po course in France, and now has the opportunity to get another final under her belt as she sets off on this 23-gate course. Let's just talk you through the course. If you're new to the sport of canoe slalom, of course it's a challenge of physical, technical and mental skill. You have to navigate the gates in number order, green and white gates in a downstream direction, red and white gates in an upstream direction. And you have to stay off the poles. 2 seconds of penalties for touching a pole and 50 seconds for missing the gate. So Polina looks like she set off okay.
It's, I think it's a pretty good run until now, and she's looking good. We can see some switches, like I think most girls are doing it.
Yes, I think we could certainly anticipate, particularly on the drop into gate 20, that most people will be switching to make sure that they've got the optimum chance for getting that critical line.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Polina is looking good.
She's really working well with the water here, isn't it? As soon as you fight the white water, then, well, it drains you physically, but also it slips away on the clock. So this is the critical move, and nicely done for Polina Mugalieva of the Russian Canoe Federation.
Now keeping the focus, and yeah, she's made it. She had a touch, but I think that's still fine. So
2 touches on the bottom section and a little bit of a dent into that run. But other than that, that's a really good baseline to start with. 116.31. And that is our first competitor down. So next up, it is Simona Glejčíková of Slovakia, the host nation here in Bratislava. And you would expect to have a little bit of local knowledge here of the water.
It looked tight, going around again to make sure it's not a 50.
So the whole head must go between the gate line. If it doesn't, then, as Ricarda just said there, it's like she didn't feel that she'd done that, so she's effectively cancelled out her 50-second penalty. Keeps it clean, but she will have a time loss, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's still fine for going around again. It's like another upstream, so she's still in touch, I think. And yeah, she's quite a young paddler, and it will be a nice experience for her to race on a home course.
So this double upstream, gate 10 and 11 in front of the grandstand here in this course on the outskirts of Bratislava. But this is a critical move, isn't it? How did you find this yesterday? 12 to 13. A few people found the wave wasn't so consistent.
Yeah, you need to find the good way to come out of 11 and to feel the water. And it was, the wave was changing a lot. Also the stopper on top.
And I guess as we watch here, Simona coming down through 17, 18 towards the bottom drop. How did you deal with the bottom drop? You, particularly in the final, when you knew so many people had come unstuck on the bottom drop. Did you change your strategy, or did you just focus?
I focused. In the semi-final, I touched the gate, like I think many people did it, and the final I was thinking, okay, make it sure, just go around. And like she did it quite nicely.
So it is a tidy run for Simona Glejčová of Slovakia, but outside, mainly due to those, two touches again. So the time slips away on the bottom part of the course. And from
another Slovak.
One Slovak to another. It is now Monika Skačová, who was 9th in the Tokyo Games, and then also under-23 European champion in 2018. 2 finals in the 4-race World Cup season this year, so very capable of progressing through into this World Championship final.
She's looking good so far. Wow, 4 seconds up. And this was really nice.
Yeah, it really looks like she's got a flow. She's reading the white water, working well in harmony with that white water.
Tight inside and out.
And I guess, how do you build on the top of the course here, Ricarda? How do you build into your run when you know how critical it is to work with the white water?
It's important to have a smooth start, to just get into your run and not start like, I want to go for it, but I needed just quite a safe line to get inside.
So you almost build in for the first few gates. It's getting feeling the rhythm and then starting to build
like
in.
This, yes.
Well, still 4 seconds up on the split time, so it is a good start to this run for Monika Skačová, and that's a superb line.
That was nice.
So it's still not over though. You've got to exit this gate and hold position. She may not have planned to spin that, but it's kept it clean, and surely we're looking at a new race leader here.
Good run, definitely.
So Monika Skačová of Slovakia goes in at 107.09, 9 seconds up. And as you say, wow, that's a good start. And Slovakia only had 1 finalist across the 2 categories yesterday. So that was a bit of a surprise. Yeah,
it was a surprise. I think there are some gates that are not in the usual position. It's a little bit different than normally. It's also, you can feel the pressure when you are racing on your home course. You know this course really well, and you know the crowd is cheering for you and expecting from you, and I think the pressure is high.
Yes, it can either be a good thing or it can be a challenging thing, and you'll have that to look forward to next year. Augsburg 2022 World Championships in the end of July, isn't it? And 50 years of the course.
Yeah, that's nice. It's really cool. I'm looking forward to this.
You'll obviously be able to follow that next year on Planet Canoe. But here we're watching Hannah Thomas of New Zealand on course. So 19 years of age. And, not yet made a final in this season. They're just getting a little bit washed away. Taking a slightly cautious line, was planning to spin 12, I think, but just got pushed out by the white water. And it's so, as soon as you lose the boat speed, the water takes over, doesn't it? You can just see.
you need to control the water, and not the water control you. And for this, it's always better to have some speed on the boat. But here's another touch, unfortunately. But she keeps pushing.
She does indeed. Now, through this tricky 17-18, it's one of those moves where you've got to take it tight, haven't you? But easy to pick up a little penalty.
And this stopper is also changed, and you can have quite a wave or a really hard stopper, and you don't know exactly how much you want to jump. So it's somehow hard to anticipate what's going to happen.
Well, impressive on the bottom drop for Hannah Thomas of New Zealand, really confident into the upstream 20, and although she spins on 22, then no penalties picked up on that bottom section. So into fourth place at the moment for Hannah Thomas of New Zealand. The early leader, Monika Skachova of Slovakia, but we have 30 boats to go.
Now a young rocket, Evi Leifert. She has won already some senior medals at the World Cup.
Yeah, and of course she went to the Tokyo Games.
Yes.
She finished 18th in that event and was Junior World Championship bronze medalist this year. So she's still a junior in this season.
It's crazy actually, and she looks so fast, and she just is going for it.
Well, 2.4 down on the early split, but the race can only be lost on the top really.
This was nice.
Yeah, really working well, taking the direct line across 10 to 11. Again, direct 12 to 13, but washed away. And that's what we were talking about, isn't it?
You need to really have the speed already in the good direction. Maybe she was a little bit late with this.
Quick thinking, though, quick recovery. She has minimised the time lost as she comes into the upstream gate 14. But leap path of the United States of America, still clean. Just now we'll get an indication of where that split time puts her and how much she's lost in that paddle back for 13. 8 seconds down now. So quite significant. And she looks like she's tiring.
But she's fighting. She's fighting for everything that she can get.
So over the drop into 20 and super tight. Excellent stuff for Avi Leappath, and she's not going to give up here as she seeks a place in the World Championship final. Spins on 22. Now she just has to dig deep and empty the tank as she comes towards the finish line. It's going to be outside the lead time, but good enough for second at the moment. 1:15.50 for Avi Leappath of the United States. Well, you can see that was a busy run, wasn't it? And it's a relentless course, this.
Yeah. But now we have the European champion on top. I'm excited to see her. She developed quite a lot in the last years, and it's really nice to watch her. She has a smooth style.
So it's Miren Lazcano of Spain, and she's also almost come into form again at the end of the season. So she had mixed results in the early World Cups, but then 2 finals in the last 2 World Cups, and she's showing that now. She's up just a fraction on the early split, but as you say, she looks like she's really running the boat.
Yeah, she's looking so smooth. I like. And yeah, she's having a good run until now.
So Miren Lazcano of Spain. There you can see her switching the blade to set up ready for this 14-15 sequence. Nicely done, looks very composed.
Wow, I think.
And then again, switching, and she has a 4-second advantage. So is she going to be the first person to challenge the 100-second barrier? It's a bit of work to do to get that point, but it's a good run coming together. And another attacking move there. It was a nice line, but she does take the touch on the way in. And we saw that so much yesterday. And Miren did all the hard work at the top, but it is all undone at the bottom of the course. And sadly,
what a shame.
Sadly, a 50-second penalty on the downstream gate 21. And Miren Lazcano of Spain, the European champion of 2021, will not be progressing into the final here at the World Championships.
Yeah, gate 21 is really, really hard. You really need to hold the boat.
So, next competitor for Italy. For Elena Mizcosi of Italy. Now, Italians had a great performance yesterday. Got a silver medal in the men's kayak with Marcello Bedda. You'd have probably said that Giovanni De Gennaro was the favourite for an Italian medal.
Yeah, it's crazy that he won the silver medal, so he's the world champion. That's really great. But now it's his teammate, a young lady. Already 4 seconds of penalty.
So now just coming into the stadium section here. Double upstream 10 and 11.
But she's not switching. She's doing the crossbow here. It's quite, I think that's hard. But she managed it.
Indeed. Now this is the critical move. This is what caught Leapfar for the United States of America out, but no problems here for Mizcosi of Italy as she comes into the upstream gate 14. This is where the lactic acid is starting to burn in the arms, and you've just got to stick to your race plan. So Ricardo, have you ever considered doubling up? Many of your...
In Germany it's quite a hard topic. They don't really support doubling up. And when I was young it was not Olympic, and so they didn't support it at all. But I think it's really nice, and I think it helps also in kayak.
Well, great work on the bottom section there.
Oh, a slightly touch on the last gate.
Elena Mizcosi of Italy, ducking and diving at the bottom. And actually, well, a respectable time, but plus 6 seconds in penalties. And into second place for now.
So there's still quite a big gap between position 1 and 2.
So, yep, still Monika Skachova of Slovakia leading. 1:07.09. 23 boats still to go in this Women's Canoe World Championship semi-final. Myself, Andy Muddock, and alongside me, the World and Olympic champion from 2021, Ricardo Funk of Germany. Are you getting used to that? Now, how's your experience been since you won Olympic title?
Yes.
Just 8 weeks or so ago, and then a world title less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. The Olympics, they were my dream, and then I came home with a gold medal. It was so crazy what was going on at home. But now here's Martina Sadkova, and already picked up 2 seconds of penalty, but I think that's still fine. See?
She's certainly looking like she's got the pace as she comes down into the business end of this 23-gate course. 6 meters the course drops from top to bottom. So one of the steepest, the fastest on the circuit.
Yeah, the Wildwater is quite massive here, especially the last big drop. It's like a small waterfall, and she's quite in touch with the best time.
So now coming over, you talk about the small waterfall. They call it Niagara. I think every drop on the circuit that seems to be called Niagara, but it's a solid move there for the Czech paddler coming from 21. And so important to just keep it clean. We saw so many great runs yesterday, ended by the odd touch here and there on those last 3 gates.
Second position, I think.
You're right, into second place for Martina Sadkova of the Czech Republic. And, well, it'll be a long wait for all of these athletes to see whether that's enough. It's hard to tell what the cutoff will be.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to...
Next up, for Great Britain, it is Bethan Forrow, under-23 world champion of this season, and silver medalist at the under-23 European Championships. So she's had a good season. She was a finalist as well in Brazil in 2018. Yeah,
she's also a really, really good paddler, and she has such a nice style. And until now, it's looking really good for her. She's even, before.
So slightly up on the split. That's just what's needed. Now this double upstream section. This is where if you really get a good run across the wave here, you can let the boat and the water do the work. She does that well. Now she needs to set up, get the bows round for 12, through to 13, and rejected on the switch there. It was a bit late going across, and then she got caught midway through the switch, and paid the price there.
But she's fighting. She's going back up.
So unfortunate there. Now she needs to refocus. Runs into 14. And now just needs to get her head back into the run. It's not all over.
No, it's always important to keep fighting until the finish line. You never know what the others are doing. And yeah, and now she's doing it.
So 11.3 down. That's a significant loss in the middle section, but it is still, there is always a chance of making it through into the final, but held on the eddy line now.
Yeah, the upstream is quite a lot inside the eddy. It's quite unusual. And you need a lot of speed towards the wall.
Well, Bethan is, again, just having an odd little problem there, the time loss and penalties. And Bethan Furrow of Great Britain will paddle it out across the line, but it looks like no final today for the under-23 world champion.
But she's still a young paddler, so
Absolutely.
I think it's a good experience for her. She can learn from this. And now the Brazilian, Ana Zatila, she's also racing in kayak.
Well, Ana Zatila, we'd expect normally to be going a little bit later off in this semi-final, but she had to do a second run in the heats to qualify through. She's a World Championship medalist in this event from 2017 and really experienced paddler on the circuit. 3 Olympic Games.
Yeah, that's crazy actually. She was really young in London. I watched it, and now she had a good cross. And I think she's going for a spin now, but maybe that was not planned, I'm not sure.
So she was 10th in Tokyo in the Games just gone. And of course, that's where the women's canoe event made its debut. The Olympic champion crowned there. Jessica Fox should be racing later on in this semi-final, particularly after the disappointment yesterday of not making it through into the women's kayak final, which was kind of a big surprise. But she wasn't the only person to not make it through. The reigning world champion Eva Tersel as well of Slovenia was a victim of these powerful waters here. And low into the eddy for Anna, but she gets
but she's still in touch, yes. So. But you can see in the face that gate, I touch again. 21, you really need to hold that the boat is not going to the side.
So 2 touches in the last 2 gates. And Ana Zatila of Brazil, another athlete, 116.50. So you can see she's, well, left the door open. We'll have to wait and see. But Monika Skachova of Slovakia looking stronger as we go through this semi-final. She is our current race leader. So next on course, it is Alexandra Stach of Poland. 19th in the Tokyo Games this year. 17th at the under-23 Euros. So she must have flown straight back from the Olympic Games, taking part in those European Championships in
it's like touch with the helmet.
So 3 down on the top. Most of that is a result of that penalty on the downstream gate 7.
Spin, but she reacted quite good, going straight into 10.
And again, working well with the white water here. Now critical here to get around, get the bows round in time for 12. And she's late, and you could. She was always a bit late there, and she takes the penalty as a result. Now she needs to refocus.
50 seconds penalty.
She was very late. I guess that would have been.
There was a half head, I guess.
Yep, no, not the whole head into the gate line. And the judges, and if you're watching this and you see review come up, it means that so not only are the judges on the riverbank, but also there are cameras on all of the gates for different angles, and the video judges are able to call on those cameras, look at different angles live, and then make a final decision. So Alexandra Stach of Poland, unfortunately on this occasion, that 50-second penalty, and the penalties adding up at the bottom part of the course. Crossing the line, 162.67 total. So we have 18 paddlers to go. Monika Skachova leads for Slovakia ahead of Martina Satkova of the Czech Republic, Elena Mikosi of Italy.
And now another Polish girl, the young Swolinska, also doubling up.
Yeah, she's had a great season in kayak and canoe, hasn't she? And she won a World Cup in the kayak.
It was a really, really good final from her. And I really love to watch her. Also in Tokyo, she showed what she's capable of.
She did, didn't she? Was she 4th or 5th in the kayak event?
I think 5th, yes.
So, yeah, really emerging
there
talent.
Was a touch on gate 8.
So let's watch Claudia as she comes into gate 10. It looks like maybe a touch on
Yeah, I guess so, with the front of the boat.
So can't really afford to let those penalties add up anymore. +4 at the moment. And again, she's late to 12. Wise decision, though, to pull out at that point and not try and commit to the move and then have a longer paddle back for 13.
Until now, there's only one girl who made it without penalties at all.
And that's Avi Liebhardt of the United States. She's the only one with a clean run, but she had a big paddle back around gate 13.
It shows how hard the course is.
So Claudia Swolinska now through 17 to 18.
9 seconds down.
It's just so easy on this course, isn't it? One little mistake, but suddenly the time slips away.
Yeah, you can lose so much time.
Oh, but nice.
Oh, yeah, this was a
20.
nice jump.
Showing her class there. Now, it was interesting. You said this, didn't you? About it's not just getting 20, is it? It's about not relaxing at that point. It's really staying firm on 21.
It's a combination. Gate 20, you need a good exit to forget 21, and then you just need to hold. But yeah, you always have to think in combinations in this sport.
So there, unfortunately, a 50-second penalty for Claudia Swolinska of Poland, and only into 12th place. So we definitely won't see Claudia into the final, unfortunately, here. Live from Bratislava in Slovakia. This is the women's canoe semi-finals, as we look to determine which 10 boats will race it off in the finals later on this morning. That'll be live at 11:30 Central European time here at Planet Canoe. So
now, I think the youngest girl in this circus here.
I think you're right. I think she's 16.
16, yeah.
Susanna Pankova.
It's so good to see her racing on a home course. But yeah, unfortunately, she had to go around at gate 9.
And she's already had a senior final at the SEO World Cup.
Yeah, that's so great. I watched it from home. I was not there, but yeah, it's cool to see such a young lady rocking it over there. Unfortunately, 2 seconds of penalty.
So huge experience for this young athlete to experience the World Championships on home soil.
I'm impressed of her, how she can do it. She's such a small girl, and then she's fighting with the big Wildwater.
She's racing without fear here, and 7.2 down, it's respectable for sure. Just the one penalty on the downstream 13. And did she go above that? Is she going to have to go back round? But certainly picked up a 2-second penalty. Susanna Pankova of Slovakia now through 22, through 23. Just 2 touches, 4 seconds of penalty, and stops the clock. 1:15.89 into 5th place. So Skachova leads still for Slovakia. Satkova of the Czech Republic in 2nd, and Mikosi of Italy in 3rd. As we now look at Victoria Us of Ukraine, who's had a great season.
Yeah, actually, I'm really impressed of her. She's not having a big team. She's just traveling with, I think it's her father, her coach. And
yes.
That's, yeah, it's really nice.
She seems to have really developed consistency this year.
Yeah.
And not just in the canoe event, but also in the kayak event. She made the final yesterday here at the World Championships. I think finished 8th yesterday.
Yeah, and also she was really good in both. Oh, no!
Oh, just as we were saying that, and she's upside down in the gate line, so I fear there's no way back from that. If you're upside down in the gate line, then that is a 50-second penalty.
Oh, what a shame.
And it's all just, well, you know, we hate to see mistakes, but
yeah.
I often say it, you know, we're watching the best in the world, and you all make it look really easy. And sometimes mistakes like that do actually show just how skilled you are and just how difficult it is sometimes.
Yeah, it's really difficult for sure. It's not easy. Yeah, but I'm sad for Victoria.
So she was 7th at the Tokyo Olympic Games, made the Olympic final in this women's canoe event, but she's unlikely to make the final today, unfortunately.
Troubles.
Just that 50-second penalty, and how quickly it can all go wrong. This is where, nicely done, confidently jumping into the eddy, into 20. You've got to commit to your plan, haven't you, on that move?
Yeah, you have to do it like you planned it.
It's no point kind of dropping over and waiting to see what happens.
And, the angle is so, it's really so difficult to get the right angle. You can be just in front if it's just a little bit too much.
So unfortunately, 13th place for Victoria Urs of Ukraine. As we're getting towards the halfway point in this women's canoe final. Alia Kozorog.
Gachova on top.
Still at 1:07.09, looking increasingly strong as we get towards the halfway point. Alia Kozorog now for Slovenia on course. 12th at the Tokyo Games. Has yet to make a World Cup final this year, which is a little bit of a surprise, I think. She's always there or thereabouts, but the wrong side of the top 10 so far, but missed the opportunity to change that. Especially probably having trained a lot in Tartan in Slovenia, then liked the big, fast whitewater.
Yeah. So far she's picked up 2 seconds of penalty, but I think it's still looking good. She's having a good run. And this was nice.
She looks like she's really found her groove here.
Yeah.
And although she's trailing on the first split, she does look quick in this middle section.
Now she needs to stay focused.
So through 17, 18, important to keep that clean, keep the boat as dry as you can.
Wow.
And she has found time. She did look quick, and she's clearly found a big chunk of time there. So she's done the hard work. Now she's got to deliver this move, 2021, and she'll be in the final.
This was tight inside and a good exit.
Nice line there, managing to do it forwards. But
looking good for her, I think. Probably we are going to see...
Just inside 23, it's a great run. Alia Kozorog
second position probably
of Slovenia goes into second place, and she knows it. That
she's happy. It was a good run.
Well, I think we could confidently say that will be in the final.
I think so too.
You heard it here, we think. Certainly Monika Skachova of Slovakia, Alia Kozorog of Slovenia.
But there's still an asterisk next to her name.
Yes, I don't know which gate that is.
I don't know too.
I'll have to wait and see. So next on course, it is Marjorie Delassou of France, who was 4th at the Tokyo Games. And again, another emerging young paddler who's starting to make her mark on the sport. 4th at the Under-23 Worlds 2 years ago.
Yeah, she's picked up 2 seconds of penalty on gate 3. I think gate 3 is, quite tricky.
Gate 3 is so important as well for gate 4, isn't it? We saw a few people not quite get gate 3 and then have another time loss in 4.
Yeah, the water is changing a lot on this position.
So she needs to get the bows round, done that nicely, 12 to 13. Delassou of France is tidy, 1.73 down on the split, and has had another penalty since then. But she certainly looks like she's got the pace to be able to progress into the final.
Another penalty.
So really,
but with 6 seconds of penalty, she's quite in touch.
She is, considering that 1.72 the deficit. So it's all about keeping it clean. No more penalties on this section.
Tightly inside.
Yeah, she really hung on to that, didn't she? Held it well.
Looking like a new best time, I think.
Well, it's going to challenge the race lead time. Marjorie Delassou of France goes for a place in the final, just outside and into second place. So,
wow, but yet this was a really good run. I think it was, the raw time is 1:01.
That's a good spot. It is 101 plus 6. So if she can tidy that up in the final, she will be challenging for a place on the podium. So next up for the Russian Canoe Federation, Alsu Minazova, 14th at the Tokyo Games, under 23 World Championships, silver medalist in 2019. What can she do? So we've got 16 boats down now, so 14 boats still to start. And we will be confirming those finalists very soon.
Looking really smooth so far. Wow, nearly 3 seconds up.
Yeah, that's
and this was also nice.
Significant. No penalties on the top section and rewarded as such.
Wow.
Super tight on 10 and really carries the boat speed as she runs across to 11.
Also a nice cross. So we'll see how she's doing. Gate 12.
And again, she's
but
good.
It's really good.
She's got her bows round early, 12 to 13. No problems there. This is a great run coming together for Alsu Minazova of the Russian Canoe Federation.
Ah, no. 2 seconds of penalty.
Almost if there is such a thing, a silly touch there on a relatively easy gate, but she still has the advantage as she comes towards the final 5 gates of the course.
Now it's all about the big drop.
This is where you can either throw away all the hard work or you can get rewarded, and she has done the difficult bit. She just needs to keep it smooth here.
Good, so wow, that was really good.
Very direct.
I think she's made up some time.
I think we're looking at a new race leader here. Alsu Minazova of the Russian Canoe Federation is comfortably inside, 103.55, and wow, we'll see you in the final, I'm sure. A little bit premature, but I don't see that being beaten to move outside the top 10.
Also 101, so I'm excited if you will see a sub 100.
So next to start for Australia, Noemi Fox sets off on her quest for a World Championship final. She was 8th in the World Cup standings this season, so very consistent across the 4 races. And she's a medalist at under 23 World Championship level.
So we'll see what the split says now.
So the splits, I think we're still waiting for the splits. I think they're from the previous athlete. So let's just focus on Noemi. And I always like watching Noemi. She's got such a feel with the white water.
And I think she developed a lot in the last years. It's really nice to watch her. And the cross was also good, but now she's
late, but it looked like it was okay.
She's got a little bit caught in the eddy.
So I always think sometimes some of the best athletes make it look so effortless. You're one of them, actually, Ricardo. Your boat placement, how you work with the white water, it kind of sometimes looks like you're not trying.
It's definitely not effortless. It's really hard, especially here on the big white water. You can feel the water is pushing you where it wants and you have to fight. But I think Noemi is having a good run so far.
I'd agree. It looks like it's really good. I don't know whether it's clean. I think we've not quite got an update on the penalties, but really good on the direct through those last 3 downs.
No splits, but I don't know. What's the time?
So Noemi Fox of Australia crosses the line 1:08.99 into 5th place. So, well, it was a good run, but it's kind of just the wrong side of a big bunch of people at the moment. We've got 2nd place, 1:06.48, and then a real crowd. So at the moment, Alsu Minazova leading for the Russian Canoe Federation, just out in front by quite a margin. But let's look at the top of the course here, because Teresa Fisarova of the Czech Republic is on course. She's just been crowned the World Cup champion of 2021. She's had a great season. And, well, she really took the fight to Jessica Fox in that World Cup final in Po.
She's the reigning European champion, and she's really in touch with Minazova, but just picking up 2 seconds of penalty.
Just a little bit late on 9. She's tight into 10. She was 6th at the Tokyo Games. And super consistent, 4 podiums in the 4 World Cup races of the season. So no wonder she won the World Cup title, but...
having trouble with this little stopper?
She doesn't look like she's quite found the rhythm, but neither has she had any disasters at the moment. She's still on track for a place in the final.
And she's still fighting, and you can see in her face that she is focused.
It was a great race just 2 weeks ago in Po when her and Jessica Fox were both into the final, and it was basically winner takes all for the overall World Cup title, and Teresa really took the fight to Jessica and came out on top. Really nice on 20.
This was a nice move, yes. Let's see how she's doing it here.
So sneaks through 21.
Also going for a spin. I think spin is seems to be a good option for the girls.
It's a good plan B, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you don't get the line,
definitely.
Then because it's so easy to then pick up a penalty on 22 and 23. And into 7th place for Fisarova of the Czech Republic. That's, well, quite exposed, really. There's still 11 boats to go and only 10 places in the final. So another little bit of a surprise there, but we'll have to wait and see. At least her result is in the bank. The others still have to race. So next, Gabriela Satkova of the Czech Republic. Now, yesterday, the Czech Republic, no finals in the women's or the men's kayak. That was
I don't know
unusual.
when we saw this the last time. I don't know. But now it's the sister of Martina Satkova. She already raced in this event today. She is really in touch, having a smooth line.
She does look she looks like she's really found her rhythm here.
I really like to watch her. I think she's a really talented young girl.
Alsu Minazova leading for the Russian Canoe Federation ahead of Alia Kozarog of Slovenia and Marjorie Delassus of France.
Gabriela is doing really well. She's in the flow.
Yeah, she has got that kind of look about her that she's found the groove. She's making it look very easy, but as we know, it is not. But that's where the fast times come from. You can work in harmony with the white water, and it all looks easy. 1.32 up on the race leader. And that race leader, Minazova of the Russian Canoe Federation, has quite a significant lead as well. So the job here is to get into the final nicely into 20.
And she's clean so far. And this is looking nice too.
So Gabriela
going for the spin.
Satkova keeping it safe and keeping it clean here in Bratislava, Slovakia. Surely we are looking at the new race lead time. It's just outside into 2nd place, but surely that will be good enough for a place in the final for the Czech Republic. So with 10 boats still to go in this women's canoe semi-final here at the World Championships, it is Alsu Minazova leading for the Russian Canoe Federation ahead of Gabriela Satkova of the Czech Republic, Alia Kozarog of Slovenia. And now we'll start to confirm our finalists as we look at Lucie Pouillou of France. World champion at junior level in 2014. Her best World Championship result, 7th place at the 2017 World Championship. So she's been in the final before. The job now to get in the final, get in the top 10. And, well, as we saw from yesterday's finals, then anything can happen.
Yeah, everything can happen. It's the course is so hard. You can be super good on top, but throw everything away on the last drop. But so far, so good for Lucie.
Clean on the top section. The job here, well, a little bit low, as Ricardo indicating there that just drops off the wave. No penalties incurred, but just dropping those fractions of a second here and there, and it can all add up.
This was quite good. Going tight inside the up.
So the job here to qualify through. You don't have to win this semi-final. It doesn't count for anything. You just have to get through in the top 10. Then the athletes will race in reverse order in the final of this semi-final performance. And still clean. Lucie just being dragged around a little bit on the water, tiring a little bit.
No. Picked up 2 seconds of penalty.
Now
now going down.
Low into the eddy. That's not the end of the world. But now she's got to focus on the exit and almost making the most of the going low to really get the line.
Yeah, you need to keep the speed at least and try to take it to the next downstreams.
And she does that well. She keeps the bottom part of the course clean, but the time is slipping away. Lucy Priault of France only into 13th place, and she didn't really, it just didn't quite work. She was fighting the water a little bit all the way down.
After gate 10, after the troubles. Now it's Team Germany, so I'm excited to watch my teammates here. It's Andrea.
Andrea Herzog on course, the world champion of 2019, and of course the bronze medalist at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games.
Yeah, she is really a talented young girl. She won the world championships in 2019, and this was unbelievable.
She was
so young.
I remember watching her, and she was so confident. You know, you could see that she just focused on the job in hand, and definitely very mature for her age in terms of race experience. A little bit late on 13, takes a penalty on the back of the buoyancy aid. Now
but she's having a good run so far. Oh no! This was quite a silly touch. Just with the hand.
So Andrea now switches the blade to set up this move, 17 to 18, and 2 touches on 17 to 18. That's expensive stuff. The world champion of 2019 is in trouble. She's got to deal with this bottom move. She's still in the mix if she can deliver this bottom section.
Now she needs to fight to the finish line. Probably going for the spin.
Just a bit sticky on 21. Wise choice.
She needs to push really hard.
Keeps it clean, and the time is slipping away. Andrea will cross the line in 9th place. 109.85, and well, that's potentially a big shock, as we still have 8 competitors to go, and she's only into 9th place.
What a shame. She's picked up 8 seconds of penalty. The raw time was really good, but Satkova is into the final.
That's right, alongside Milozova of the Russian Federation. So we knew one thing we could expect was the unexpected, and the world champion of 2019, Andrea Herzog of Germany, has now got a long wait to see if that will be enough. But on course now, Angèle Hug of France, 5th in the under-23 World Championships this year, 6th in the under-23 European, so no stranger to making finals.
She's up in the split.
So just wanting to convert that experience from under-23 level now into senior level, and as you say, she's on a good start here.
Had a good cross. Now she needs to focus on gate 12, the critical move.
Of course, the French looking forward to Paris 2024 in just 3 years' time, the Olympic Games. And, well, how are you, I guess, 3 years? Does that change anything that you're planning for, Ricarda, in terms of the Games and defending your title?
I mean, I'm dreaming of the Olympics, like, for the full experience with some people. So, yeah, the goal is there.
3.58 seconds up
wow.
on the split. This is a great run coming together from the young French athlete, and super tight, a little bit too tight, takes a touch, but this is still very much a run that will make the final. Just got to negotiate the last 3 gates.
Yeah, she's also a girl who developed a lot in the last couple of years.
So surely we're looking at a finalist here, and stops the clock in 2nd place. Angèle Hug of France, well done. You're in the final. 7 to go in this, the women's canoe semi-finals here. We're live from Bratislava in Slovakia for this World Championship semi-final. Monica Doria Villarubla of Andorra goes for a place in the final, and well, this is an athlete who you would expect to be challenging for a top 10 place, if not a medal later on today.
Yeah, she's definitely capable of doing it, and she has such a nice style.
She was 11th in Tokyo, just missed out on the final there. And
she's also doubling up.
So racing in the kayak and the canoe.
And in touch. But unfortunately, 2 seconds of penalty. But that doesn't mean anything. because until now we have only 2 girls without any penalties.
So we've, at the moment, got the top 3 already know they're into the final. And then there's a bit of a gap. So, but then there's a big cluster around 107, 108. So that's the critical area that Monica will want to get inside, under 107. And I think it's fairly confident that you can make a final. You go outside of that, and there's a big cluster of people, and it's far from guaranteed.
But she's looking really focused.
So under the bridge here, 17, 18. This is what we saw Andrea Herzog, 2 touches on that move, and that really ended her campaign. No problems for Monica Doria Villarubla as she comes down over the drop.
Nice jump into the eddy.
I have to say, the women's canoe athletes have obviously learnt a lot from watching yesterday and doing a better job, I was saying, on the bottom section. A touch picked up, a little bit of a time loss, and suddenly Monica Doria Villarubla goes the wrong side of the cluster of people into 8th place. So still with a fighting chance, but that mistake at the bottom.
She lost a lot of time in the end. She had such a nice run until this moment.
So bad news for Andorra is good news for Slovenia, and Alja Kozorog is our next qualifier. 6 to go. And on course now it is Clara Olazabal of Spain, who's had a good season yet. Again, under 23 circuit. She finished 6th at the under 23 World Championships.
It's so cool to watch the C1 women. It's nearly every one of them is still super young and getting some experience here, but wow, and Clara is showing how to do it. Oh no. Probably I shouldn't have said this.
Well, she's cancelled out that advantage with that 2-second penalty, but it's still a good run.
Yes.
Not quite finding the run across the wave, but here, this is the critical move. Flick the bows round 12, and rejected going across to 13. Just caught the edge, and Warner just pushed her right. And now, not only is this the clock ticking, but she's digging deep into her energy reserves, which she'll want on that bottom section, particularly holding that move on the exit of 20 and seeing the line through 21, 22.
But this was a huge time loss.
So Olazabal of Spain now, out of 14. She looks tired now.
It's hard to keep it going after such a mistake.
Now ducks through 17. 20 seconds lost on that time. It's very hard to come back from there. And disappointing because Clara put in a great result at the World Cup in La Seu in early part of September. But again, she's okay into 20, but just losing that forward boat speed. And it's very hard coming out of 20, isn't it? Without any forward boat speed.
She's having troubles in gate 21, 22. But she's still fighting. She's going up, even with these mistakes. So
well, it's great to see.
It's good to see this
people paddling it out. And yes, that's our sport is cruel. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but you learn from your bad days as well as your good days.
Yes, for sure. And it's good to see that she's still going to the finish line. And oh yeah, another German is on the course now.
So Elena Appel of Germany on course, who had a great day yesterday. Silver medal in the women's kayak event behind you, Ricarda.
Yeah, it's so cool to have my teammate on the podium. And now she's fighting in the C1.
She's had a great season, hasn't she?
Yes.
She was 3rd in the World Cup in this event, in the canoe. And that's in the overall standings.
Such a talented paddler. And now she's having a good run. She's up in the split and going tight inside the upstream.
So she won a bronze medal at the under-23 World Championships in July in Tarsen, Slovenia. And yeah, looking very composed.
Wow.
So 2 seconds up on the split, just cancelled that out with a touch on get downstream 18. But well, the time to beat is 107.09 in order to take an automatic qualification spot.
Looking good so far.
She looks comfortably inside that, I was saying, but it's not all over.
Plan B? But
she's
no.
still in touch with her place in the final, but she's got to hold her nerve now. Elena Appel goes for a place in the final for Germany. 7th place. It's not an automatic qualification at this point, but she is next in line. So that means that Monika Skachova and Marjorie Delassou of France are also qualified for the final. And Elena Appel has to just wait and see if that's enough. She's next on that bubble. So Nuria Villarubla of Spain is on course. 4 to go in this women's canoe World Championships semi-final.
Nice cross to the upstream, gate 4.
So Nuria, she was 4th overall in the World Cup this season, so that's a good indicator of consistency. And 8th in Tokyo. She's a former European champion, and she's up on the top section.
And she made the critical move, gate 8-9, really nice. Tied into the up and having a nice cross to the other side.
So still Alsu Minazova leading for the Russian Canoe Federation.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's cool. It's nice work.
Angel Hogue of France in 2nd, Gabriela Satkova of the Czech Republic. They're in the final, along with Kozarek, Slovenia, Delassou of France, Skachova of Slovakia. 4 to go. Final 4 positions to be determined, but of course these are the fastest 4 athletes from the heats.
Looking really fast.
She's held the advantage, 1.78 now. She's extended that. So all the hard work now as she comes towards this upstream, the final upstream, gate 20. Cautious line, but it's a good line. She'll have the speed on the exit to give the control on 21.
Yeah, she keeps the speed. And going also for a spin to make sure it's a good line.
Right, it's a quick spin. And Nuria Villarubla of Spain surely into the final with this performance and into 3rd place. 104.84. And well done, Nuria. You are in the final.
Wow, and now Jess Fox.
3 to go. Jessica Fox of Australia, the Olympic champion from Tokyo 2020. She finished 2nd in the World Cup series. She's a multiple world champion and World Cup champion in this sport. And, well, looking to pick up after the disappointment. She missed the final yesterday in the kayak event, when many would have had her as a big favourite for 2 medals across the 2 events.
Now she's having a good start into her semi-final.
Arguably, Jessica is paddling better than she ever has done. I think you know, her performance in the last few World Cups has been outstanding, but she's cutting the lines on the top part of the course really tight. So through the upstream gate 10.
Jess Fox is such a good paddler.
And she's been given a 50-second penalty on gate 8. She did ask the question of the judges, and well, that is sensational. That is...
I guess the head was not fully inside.
I think that would be the case. We probably get a slow-mo. We may not, but...
it's a review. So.
But it is being reviewed, so there's multiple camera angles that the judges can use just to check that whatever the penalty is the fair, correct penalty. Jessica Fox may not know this. She knows she might have cut it fine, but she'll be focused on delivering her run, and she is delivering a great run here. But unfortunately, that penalty on gate 8, if that stands, she won't be into the World Championship final.
Yeah.
Great move on the bottom section. Fox for Australia is going to cross the line, and it's a sub 100 time. Look at that, 99.06. But the 50-second penalty on gate 8 means there is no final for Jessica Fox. Here we see it.
Slow-mo.
So she knocked it with her paddle.
Oh, so unlucky.
That's it. Our
That's
sport's
a surprise. Cruel. Yeah, this is canoe slalom, that's true. But so, yeah, I would have loved to see her in the final.
Well, ever the champion there, just acknowledging the crowd, and disappointment for Fox. With 2 to go. Next up, Mallory Franklin of Great Britain, the world champion from 2017 and Olympic silver medalist in Tokyo.
Also a really nice paddler. I really love to watch her.
So she's up on the early split. Looking very composed at this stage. Do you paddle differently on a course like this? Would you paddle a different plan on the semi-final compared to the final?
Actually, my plan was nearly the same. Yeah, the course is so hard. I don't think it makes sense to cut the line too much. But Mallory is having a good run so far.
So in and out the upstream gate 14 for Mallory Franklin of Great Britain. Now still keeping it clean as she comes down towards 17-18. Under the bridge here, and we'll get an indication on the second split. 3.3 up on Minazova of the Russian Federation. This is the kind of pace that we saw from Fox as well. So Mallory Franklin now needs to deliver the upstream gate 20. This was where she had problems yesterday in the kayak. Problems again, but the key thing here is that she's not going to rack up any more penalties. So there's a review on gate 13 as well for Mallory.
Another review.
So the time is slipping away. She does cross the line, 107.19 into 8th place, which is good enough if those reviews stand. So I guess nervous wait there for Mallory Franklin of Great Britain. Provisionally into the qualification place, and also Elena Appel of Germany will be in the final. One to go. Kimberly Woods of Great Britain, bronze medalist yesterday in the women's kayak event.
I was so happy for her that she won a medal, and yeah, good to see this. But another touch on gate 3.
So already touch at the top. So it is effectively Noemi Fox of Australia sitting in 10th place, waiting to see if she has done enough for a place in the final. And that time, 108.99 is the time to beat. So Woods a little bit down on the early split, but still in touch with a place in the final at this stage. She was the fastest in the qualification rounds. And I was actually surprised yesterday. Kimberly won her first ever World Championship medal at senior level. Now, I thought, you know, she's been around in canoe for so long, and she's had some great results, 4th, 5th, but never on the podium.
I was thinking she probably had won a C1 medal. Oh no, another touch, but...
Another touch there, so Kimberly...
But there's a review on gate 3.
So at the moment, just coming through the second split, we'll get an indication, 4.87 seconds down, so really right on that kind of time, the cut-off time. Noemi Fox of Australia is 5.4 down on race leader, and Woods goes low. It's all going to be down to these final gates.
Going to be exciting.
Remember, the time to beat, 108.99. Noemi Fox is sitting in the bank, so to speak, and 108.99 is going to be outside of that, and Woods is outside of the final, and that is good news for Noemi Fox of Australia. So there, disappointment.
What a shame.
So we just, I believe we'll get to see Jessica Fox's penalty here. Here it is, gate 8. Just clips it with a paddle as she sets up. And unfortunately then unable to get a whole head through the gate. And well, that was a big shock in this World Championship semi-final. So the fastest from the heats, Kimberly Woods, is out of the final. And the Olympic champion, Jessica Fox, is out. Mallory Franklin still sitting in 8th place, but...
still having an asterisk.
Still has a review underway. So provisionally, our qualifiers through to the World Championship final. Alsu Minazova of the Russian Canoe Federation. She will go off last in the final. Angel Hug of France. Here we are. In second, Villarubla of Spain, Shatkova of the Czech Republic, Kozarog of Slovenia, Delasu of France, Skochova of Slovakia, Franklin of Great Britain, still provisional. And then Appel of Germany and Fox, Noemi Fox of Australia.
Like yesterday, we're having a few surprises.
So what we will see, we've got some big names, as you say, like Anna Satila out, Jessica Fox not progressing through, Teresa Fisarova, Andrea, yeah, there's some big names.
I'm sad to not see them in the final.
Well, that concludes the women's canoe semi-final here live from Bratislava in Slovakia. We'll be up immediately after with the men's canoe semi-final, so don't go away. But myself, Andy Maddock, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to Ricarda Funk of Germany, the world and Olympic champion, for joining me in the booth this morning. Thank you, and good luck in the extreme slalom this afternoon.
Thanks.
Thank you. Well, as we just get our breath after that women's canoe semi-final, I have to confirm that the results are now official, and the final asterisk still remaining. Mallory Franklin of Great Britain is into the final. Her review is complete. But big shocks there. Fox, the Olympic champion, not through into the final, alongside the World Cup champion, Theresa Fisser, over in 13th place. Andrea Herzog, the reigning world champion of 2019, and for Germany, won't be in. And we saw the fastest heats, Kimberly Woods of Great Britain, also eliminated. But our focus now will be on this men's canoe semi-final. Just remind you, though, that you can follow the women's canoe final live here at Planet Canoe, 11:30 Central European time today. So lots still to follow here in Bratislava, Slovakia. Myself, Andy Maddock, and now I'd like to welcome Martin Duguid of the Swiss team into the commentary box, the winner of the World Cup in 2020 in Po, and European Championship finalist of 2021. So welcome, Martin.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's a nice day to have a good race for the C1, and thank you to invited me for commentating with you the race.
So perfect conditions here, as you say, in Bratislava. Beautiful autumn day, not a cloud in sight, and it's certainly warming up. And yesterday, 25 degrees.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yesterday and today I think it's the same, like 23, 25. Yeah, it's going to be a nice day.
So in this men's canoe competition, we have the 30 fastest from the heats. That was back on Thursday. And then they're racing in reverse order. Only 10 spots in the World Championship final. And lots of competition, and as we've seen already, you can expect the unexpected on this course.
Yeah, that's true. So Jean-Pierre just started. He's really good paddler. I think he can improve also.
So Jean-Pierre Bury of Senegal leads us away. 20th at the Po World Cup final. He's a two-time Olympian, 17th in Tokyo. And as you say, Martin, he's always there, he's always in the mix, but sometimes the luck doesn't go his way.
Yeah, until now, so far it's quite good. I think, yeah, he got a touch.
So just the bows of the boat flicking up under the upstream gate 10, and that's a 2-second penalty confirmed. But we've got some big names in this field still to go, and it's going to be super exciting because there's, well, a lot of people can go in, just attack the course and hope, and then you've got the big names who are almost having to defend on a course like this to make sure they get into the final.
Yeah, it's the course, I think it's really hard until the end, and especially the last drop and the last upstream. And also the exit, yeah, you have to keep focus until the end and keep your finger crossed.
So you raced on this course yesterday. So you've obviously done this course. Which do you think is the most technically demanding part of the course?
I think they made it a really hard course, and everywhere it's really tricky, and there are many stoppers. So I think you just have to do your own run and do your best.
And see if that's good enough for a place in the final. Well, it is Jean-Pierre Bourri of Senegal who stops the clock, 99.20, just a 2-second penalty. That is the time to beat. As we look at our next competitor for the Russian Canoe Federation, it is Nikolai Skiliruk on course. Now we saw the Russian Canoe Federation have a good performance in the women's canoe, leading through into that women's canoe final. So the top part of the course, you say about the course is very hard. How much of that is the gate sequence, and how much of that is just the fact that the water here is very fast, very continuous?
What do you mean about?
In terms of the difficulty of the course, is it you know, because we even look at the Wildwater racing where there's no gates, and just holding the lines on here is quite difficult.
Yeah, I think it's because the water is going really fast, and also many stoppers, and the water is moving all the time, and the last drop is really big. So even without gate, I think it's really hard.
So 2.9 seconds down on the top section. And just a little bit hanging on there from 16 to 17. But has slightly narrowed the gap now on Jean-Pierre Bourri of Senegal, our early runner. So over the big drop here.
Yeah, nice. This is nice. He kept his draw.
And now on the crossbow, not an easy move there, 21-22. But a penalty picked up on 22.
Go, go, go.
So Nikolai Skiliruk of the Russian Canoe Federation into second place, 99.41 plus that touch. Here we see the touch on gate 22. 28 boats still to go. We've got some, well, big names. We've got the Olympic champion on the start line, Benjamin Savcek of Germany, Slovenia, who is world champion in 2017. Pretty much won everything in the sport there is to win, and he'll be going for that double of taking the Olympic title and the world title in the same year. But on course now, Peter Linkstead of Great Britain.
Yeah, I think he's a quite young paddler. I don't know him really well, but until now he's paddling quite well.
Well, very smooth there through that 8-9 sequence, made that look easy. And apart from that touch at the top, he's on a good run.
Wow, yeah. The double up was really fast. Short exit and the gate 12.
Yeah, and he's done well there because he was late into 12, and we've seen a few people get punished for that. But he catches the wave and he gets rewarded. So in and out of the 14, nicely for Peter Linkstead. He's a junior world championship finalist just a couple of years ago. This year, I think he was just outside the final in the under-23 World Championships, but he's still up.
He's in up. So we're going to see the last drop.
So the business end of the course, and super tight into gate 20.
But maybe too tight.
Yeah, too tight. So your whole head has to go inside the gate, and he's obviously decided that he needed to just confirm that with the judges. Oh, and it's just the power of the water down there. It's deceptive, isn't it? This camera angle, you get to see the scale of the drop.
Yeah.
But what you don't get to see is how far apart those gates are. But you don't realise how fast the water's moving.
Yeah, the two downstream, you mean?
Gate 20 to 21 is actually quite a long way.
Yeah, but the water is going really fast, and you really have to keep your draw on the water or in the water. Otherwise, it's going too fast, and you can miss the last few gates.
So unfortunately, Peter Linkstead there has a 50-second penalty on the downstream gate 22. So still Jean-Pierre Bourri of Senegal, our early leader at this stage in this World Championship semi-final in the men's canoe event. And now Václav Čaluka of the Czech Republic, the under-23 European champion of this year.
Yeah, he's really young paddler, really famous also. Czech guy.
Look at that, 3.8 at the top.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, just super smooth.
Yeah. I really like his style. He's paddling really smooth, and he's using all the time his body and his boat, not only his arm. So yeah, until now, he's going quite well.
So now coming towards the second split on this upstream gate 14, 23 gate course, and he has a big margin at the top. Can he extend that? Because it's not just about competing with those already in the leaderboard, it's about those still to come. Wow. And he has done that. 7.63. Chalupka is charging.
Yeah, and I think the last drop for the man with the right draw is quite easier for them.
Oh, that was disappointing. He just caught his bows on the upstream gate 20. 2 touches, 2 late touches that will provide a blemish for what was otherwise a superb good run.
Wow.
93.63, so he's gone sub 90. So 89.63 plus 4. Well, he will be sitting at the bottom of the course thinking, what if I was clean?
Yeah, I think he was really fast, and then, yeah, after the last drop and the last upstream, it's really hard. You have to keep focused until the end.
Yeah, so it isn't over till it's over. So Liam Jigu of Ireland on course now. He joined me yesterday in the commentary booth. It's great to have his insight as ever. And he won the World Cup in 2020 on Poe. And he's a World Championship bronze medalist at under 23 level. Went to the games this year and really getting more and more consistent in his paddling. 3.7 down, and most of that is that 2-second penalty on the upstream gate 3.
He got a touch on the top, but he's a little bit he's fighting a little bit more than Chalupka, I have the feeling.
Yeah, Chalupka just looks so in harmony with the white water, didn't he? It just looked like he found his groove and nothing was going to stop him apart from the 2 penalties at the bottom.
Yeah.
But Liam still looks like he's not forcing it, but another penalty there on gate 16.
Yeah, you have no space to breathe on this course. I have the feeling it's always like, okay, you have to be focused on every waves, every gates, and
it's kind of relentless, isn't it? And if you do make a mistake, then it's very hard. There's no real time to refocus.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unfortunate there. Just takes the head-on touch with gate 22 with the bow of the boat. And the penalties mounting up for Liam Jigu of Ireland. And into 3rd place, 102.35, and that includes 6 seconds of penalties. 96.35 plus 6. And I think Liam will be disappointed with that.
So except Chalupka, his time was fast. The others got a touch too, or nobody made a clean run until now.
Yeah, that's an impressive time, that Chalupka time, 89.63. I think the fastest was 83.47 yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive from the young Czech paddler. So let's look at the top. Joris Otten of the Netherlands now on course.
Yeah, he started really smooth. Wow, this is good.
He's already on a personal best at a World Championship by being through into the semi-final, and it looks like he's really found his groove on the top.
Yeah, he's living in Po. I think he started to train in Po 2 years ago now, and he really improved himself on the training, and he's training really hard.
So nicely through 12 to 13. He has picked up that 2-second penalty on the upstream gate 10, but Joris Otten really doing well, but another penalty on 14. So myself, Andy Muddock, and then alongside me, Martin Duguid of the Swiss team, 2020 Olympian. Although that was this year, it's always a bit confusing, isn't it? And we'll talk you through this men's canoe World Championship semi-final live from Bratislava in Slovakia. Just a bit tight. It's the 3 upstreams so far. He's picked up penalties. Joris Otten of the Netherlands very nice through the downstreams. He's really nice and patient and timed the strokes to perfection. Crosses the line and stops the clock. 101.76 into third place. So, well, a really respectable run for the young Dutch paddler.
Yeah, I think he was quite happy to be selected for the, I think it's his first semi-final at the World Championship.
Well, personal best. We'll have to wait and see what the final position is. So 30 boats racing in this men's canoe semi-final, and just 10 places in that final. So Chalupka leading for the Czech Republic ahead of Skill Europe of the Russian Federation, Otten of Netherlands, as we now look at Kirill Setkin of the Russian Canoe Federation setting off on his quest for a place in the World Championship final.
Yeah, it's a really huge paddler. You can see he has a really long and big arms.
So he's a former under-23 European champion.
Whoa.
6 years ago, 2015. And as you say, huge leverage. And I always find it fascinating, particularly in the men's canoe event, how you've got very different styles of paddlers. The real contrast, I would say, is like, even within the country, you've got Mate Benus, who is very tall, huge levers, compared to Mikael Martikan, who was kind of very compact.
Yeah, that's true.
And a very different style. Yet, you know, they go down the course and there's very little to separate them.
Yeah, that is good in house sport. You can be like skinny and super light, and also like strong and not fat but quite heavy, and you can do your own style and to be fast as well.
Yeah, power to weight ratio really is the key. If you're carrying a bit of muscle, you've got to have some power to go with it.
Yeah.
Well, Kirill Setkin of the Russian Canoe Federation keeping it clean at the moment.
Yeah.
Just a little bit down on the split, on that second split.
Oh, these last three gates looks really hard for them, for the C1.
Crosses the line, 97.80 into second place. But we know that a time under 90 seconds is very possible.
Yeah, I think Chalupka made it a really good run, even with 4 touches.
He did just look like he had the run of the boat. So next up, Adam Burgess of Great Britain, world champion at under 23 level in 2015.
4th place at the games this year.
Was, yeah, just a little smidgen off the podium.
Yeah.
And he's a European Championship silver medalist from a couple of years ago.
Whoa. The first one we saw.
It's a roller coaster ride here in Bratislava, Slovakia.
Going straight. Wow, this is good.
Ducking and diving. Adam Burgess for Great Britain comes into the upstream gate 10 in front of the grandstand here. And the crowd's filling up. Oh, rejected a little bit on that run from 10 to 11. That'll cost a bit of time, and he just needs to make sure he's not late through to 13. Oh.
Really tight.
Certainly had to give the wrong edge there, but he kept it together. So perfect conditions for racing, very little wind, no clouds, and great atmosphere here. Yes, yeah, no clouds, but lots of crowds.
Yeah.
So that's good. Adam Burgess now, he's dropped some time, and that's ducking and diving a little bit, 3.36. But what he does have in the bank is he is so far clean.
Up.
So he's through, he is clean, and now he looks to stop the clock. 95.60 into second place. And it looked like the middle section was a little bit there where he didn't quite find the lines.
Yeah.
But he's left himself in with a shout. Second place at the moment, as we have 22 boats still to go in this men's canoe World Championship semi-final. We're live from Bratislava, Slovakia. And we'll obviously have the finals live at Planet Canoe. You can follow them 11:30 Central European time today. But here's a paddler to watch as well, Miguel Trave of Spain, who has had a great run into these World Championships, winning the race in La Seu. And, well, he's been right in the mix for the World Cup title as well. I think he finished third or fourth overall in the World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really also a really smooth paddler. Really not heavy, really light paddler. I like his style. And until now, so far he's paddling well.
Just takes a penalty at the bow of the boat on the upstream gate 11. That's 2 seconds of penalties added to the time, and 4 seconds now showing. Well, Chalupka, a race leader at the moment, is okay, is in the lead with 4, but as the top boats come down, that may well prove very costly. I say Adam Burgess does have an asterisk by his name.
Oh, still in touch.
So it just means they're still reviewing his result. It may mean a penalty to be added on, but it also may mean a penalty to come off.
Oh no!
Too tight on the drop for Miguel
Trave,
but he has rescued it. He's not picked up any penalties, but he has lost time on the clock. And he's certainly, that's a great line from 21 to 22, but just so easy to take a penalty there. And another penalty, 97.09 into third place for Miguel Trave of Spain.
So there is a star on the name of Adam. I don't know if it was the gate 6 when he was doing straight, because it was quite short and tight. So yeah, we will see.
Well, here we see Miguel Trave, great recovery there on gate 20.
Yeah.
And that's a good example as well of some of the different camera angles that the judges can call on to make their final reviews and make the final decisions. So there's lots of different camera angles on every gate in HD, and enables them also to look at it in slow motion as well as in real time.
Yeah.
So on course now, it is Kasper Stuber of Poland.
Really strong also paddler.
6th at the Under-23 World Championships this year. Already a penalty on the top part of the course. Only 2 clean runs so far from Burgess of Great Britain, who has he had a penalty removed? He has.
Yeah.
He is so that review has gone in his favour. He has got a clean run and is into second. It is Václav Chalupka of the Czech Republic, still leading ahead of Adam Burgess of Great Britain. Miguel Trave of Spain, his review has completed and he stays in third place. So Stuber of Poland now.
Wow, this is smooth. Paddling well so far. He got the touch again.
So how, you paddled this yesterday, this 17-18 move, how easy is it to take it more direct? Is it high risk to try and take quite a straight line?
Yeah, if you want to try a straight line, you have really to be focused with the nose of your board to don't touch the gate. That's what I did. But it's hard to cut the line, and I think you have to use a little bit the stopper. Well,
it's all gone wrong at the bottom here for Stuber of Poland, because he's kind of just missed gate 22, had to go back for it, and that's a huge amount of time to lose. So the clock ticking away, and Kasper Stuber of Poland stops the clock, 109.69, but it's not likely to be a final today, and goes into 8th place. So Chalupka still leading for the Czech Republic. As we're in the third of the way through this men's canoe World Championship semi-final here live from Bratislava in Slovakia. We watch Casey Eichfeldt of the United States of America, who, well, is very capable on his day of getting into the World Championship final. He had a big fight with Zach Locken on the water, of course, for that place in the Tokyo Games. Zach Locken, the one in the end, came out on top. But Casey, hugely experienced and looking like he's really enjoying his paddling.
Dancing around the poles.
That's a good way of putting it, actually. He does look like he's flowing nicely. So he's very direct, 12 to 13. Will he get away with that? He's certainly, well, I suspect there'll be a review on that. I'm not going to call it, but the key thing for the judges is they have to determine whether his whole head has gone inside the gate line.
Still
and part of the boat.
Still clean so far. And
So
still...
you can see, though, he's on the edge through that middle section, and whilst it's very direct, the time has slipped away. The run of the boat
Yeah.
is lost and the time just slips away, but he's very tight
Whoa,
on 20.
whoa.
That's super brave. Casey Eichfeldt of the United States is showing us his skills here. There is a review on gate 13, as we suspected. He's going to stop the clock just outside the race lead.
Not bad.
Into second place. So it is a clean run, but there is a review on gate 13. Now here we see it. So determination is his whole head inside the gate line and part of his boat. So another camera angle from that. It looks about, the head is okay, but whether the boat is, but that's not my job. I'm not the judge. So Eichfeldt of the United States provisionally into second place, and now Zach Locken of the United States on course, fresh from his experience in the games, 7th at the Tokyo Games, two-time under-23 World Championship finalist, and he's been paddling really well this season.
Yeah, he did a really good Olympic selection against Casey. Unfortunately, he got a 50. Had to get 13 that we were expected.
So yeah, sadly for Casey Eichfeldt, then it won't be a final today. Just the wrong side of the fractions, and 50-second penalty awarded. So Bug Locken on course now, coming through 12-13. Well, no problem for him on that section.
Yeah, he lost a little bit of time after the gate 11. He made also a short exit, and then I think you can lose a lot of your speed and a lot of your power, and you can get tired too.
So 3.4 down as he comes through gate 18. So the middle section, as you suggest, Martin, is just not as smooth as he might have liked. But this is the crunch move, and he carries good boat speed in. A little bit low, but the critical thing is you have to have boat speed on the exit to just be able to navigate through 21, 22 and 23. He's taken a penalty. And Zach Locken for the United States of America stops the clock, 97.19, into fourth place, and was proving a tough course, particularly at the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom looks really, really hard. After the gate 20, many paddlers, I think, touched these 3 last gates downstream. Yeah, it looks really hard when you don't have 2 ends, like a kayaker.
So Martin, of course, a kayak paddler, and we're looking at the canoes. They're kneeling in the boat with a single-bladed paddle. So next up, Roberto Colazzingari of Italy, 28-year-old. He's a World Cup winner in Charleston, I think, in 2019, I recall. Yeah. So very capable of putting a good run down, but already a touch at the top of the course. We've seen so many of those early mistakes.
Boy, he's going straight. Woo! Yeah.
Wow. It's quite. How when you do a? It looks like he's just taken a touch on 8 as well. When you sort of go for glory a little bit on a move like that, you have to then settle back down into your rhythm again, don't you?
Yeah.
He was like a little bit of a wing and a prayer through that sequence, and then just has to settle it down, because you keep building in like that, and sooner or later it will all go horribly wrong.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty hard to them to go straight and don't to make some travel, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like travel to get every gate. If you are going too straight, yeah, you can lose everything.
So 3 touches, unfortunately, for Colazzingari of Italy.
Via.
As he comes down into the final part of the course.
Last drop.
4 gates to go. Gate 20 comfortably in, but just having to work really hard on his crossbow. And now holding firm on 21.
Oh, we can see it's really, really hard.
Yeah, you really just have to hold. So it's a good bottom section for Colazzingari of Italy, but the damage was done at the top and the middle where the penalties were, and only into 6th place at the moment. 13 down, 17 still to go in this men's canoe World Championship semi-final. And Václav Chalupka leads for the Czech Republic, ahead of Adam Burgess of Great Britain, Miguel Trave of Spain.
Yeah, Chalupka with a huge time, 89, wow, was impressive.
So on course now, Ander Elozegui of Spain, World Championship silver medalist from 2019.
Wow.
And Four-time Olympian, twice he's finished fourth at the Games.
Yeah, unlucky.
Great record, four finals from 4 appearances in the Games, 4th, 4th, 8th, 8th.
Yeah, it's really good for him, but until now he's paddling also well.
But he's up on the split, just a quarter of a second up. And he is looking
wow.
very smooth.
Yeah.
So we've got big names to come. We've got multiple world champions. We've got the Olympic champion from Rio. We've got the Olympic champion from Tokyo. We've got Olympic medalist and double world champion David Florence from Olympic medalist from Beijing 2008.
Yeah.
So a huge spectrum of athletes here. Denis Gargaud-Chanou, the Olympic champion of Rio, also the world champion here 10 years ago.
Yeah.
His only world title. Can he add another one? Well, he won the last World Cup.
Whoa.
Elosegui, that is precision paddling. He looked so composed on there.
I love him watching paddling because he's doing really, he's really smooth, and now, he will take the lead. Oh, it's gonna be short, close. Whoa!
Just inside. And he says, ooh, just inside. 93.56. He did hit gate 20, but this has been reviewed. Let's have a look as he comes in. Looks like he must have just touched it with his bows on the way in.
Looks like a water touch.
So we'll let the judges,
but I'm not the judge, so
decide that. And Elosegui leads for Spain ahead of Václav Chalupka of the Czech Republic and Adam Burgess of Great Britain. As we get towards the halfway point, and on course, the world champion of 2018, Franz Anton of Germany.
Yeah.
He did well there, didn't he? He just got a little bit washed away and managed to recover that line running into 4.
Doing a spin, yes. Doing great. He also won a World Cup here in 2019, gold medal.
He did, you're right. And he was on the podium in Seoul 3 weeks ago at the World Cup. So he had a bit of a kind of slow start to his season and a disappointment of not going to the Games. But yeah, super fast from 10 to 11.
Yeah, I think if you are really smooth in the gate 10, 11, 12, 13, you can keep your power and keep your speed, and it's really good for the end.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? There's a lot of time to be had in the middle section from 10 through to 18. And he's found time. He's still down on Elosegui of Spain, but he's closing the gap. Now running towards the big drop. This is the critical move, and very nice. Perfect line. He carries the boat speed. It gives him a bit more of a confident line through 21, 22 and 23. Surely we're looking at the new race leader here. Franz Anton of Germany
well done,
goes for a place in the final. 91.66. It's a good run and into the race lead, and it shows just how good Václav Chalupka's run for the Czech Republic was, but that had +4. Germany lead ahead of Spain and the Czech Republic.
Yeah, really huge run from Franz Anton.
So we are at the halfway point in this men's canoe World Championships semi-final. Franz Anton leads for Germany, 91.66. That's, well, another big name. World champion of 2011 here in Bratislava. His only world title, the Olympic champion of Rio 2016. Denis Gargaud-Chanou of France. Of course, he won the World Cup and won the World Cup final. So he's in great form at the moment.
Yeah, he is really consistent paddler and really, also really solid, really strong. Whoa, I think it was not in the plan to make a spin, but we don't know.
Yeah, certainly. Well, that's a sign of a good slalom paddler, isn't it? Is the ability to just react to the circumstances and move on. Well, he found time at the top. Just a little bit fighting through 12 and 13, but no dramas there.
No drama. He's paddling so well so far. Yeah, really, you can see in his eyes, he knows what he has to do.
I seem to remember the upstream 20, it may not have been number 20, but was in the move for the World Championships in 2011 in the final.
Yeah, and I remember he did it with the right hand. so we're going to see if he's doing the same.
So Denis Gargaud-Chanou, he switches the blade and he nails the move. Super silky smooth there for Gargaud-Chanou of France, and switches back. And it's going to be, well, it's going to be
go.
outside the race lead, but where is it going to put him? 93.11 and into second place for...
Great run from Denis.
Denis Gargaud-Chanou into second place. We have a world champion leading, a world champion in second place, a world championship silver medalist in third. This is a big field. We've still got some big names to go.
Yeah, and the last drop with the right hand was really, really smooth, really cool. Well done, Denis.
So Franz Anton leads for Germany ahead of Denis Gargaud-Chanou of France and Ander Elosegui of Spain. Gregor Hedvig for Poland is now on course. You have to get a breather now after that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, so 91.66 is the time to beat. We know a time under 90 seconds is possible, but it's all about delivering it clean, isn't it? You've got to make sure that you play that long game. You've got to qualify through into the finals.
Yeah.
Risk versus reward. You take too many risks, you end up with your bus fare home, and you're not in the final.
But it's hard to. You have to find a compromise to take some risk and to paddle also like you do on the training. But until so far, the Polish Hedvig is doing a nice run.
It is indeed. He's certainly cutting the lines. He's running the boat well. He was in touch on the first split.
Yeah.
We'll get an indication now, and he's up.
Oh, no!
Just as we say that. But he could have recovered a bit, but that touch as well is going to be expensive. I suspect that's 4 or 5 seconds gone now. Hedvig of Poland.
Oh, nice up. Really nice up.
Super, especially on the crossbow there. Just to work hard, 21.
Oh, no. The last again. No, come on. Yeah.
It was a good run coming together, but the problem started in 18. Gregor Hedvig of Poland only into 10th place, and unfortunately that won't survive the test of time, and that was the problem. That was where it started. Up until that point he was up on the split.
Yeah.
So Franz Anton still leading for Germany ahead of Denis Gargaud-Chanou of France and Ander Elosegui of Spain.
Big name is coming.
So the Slovak crowd starting to get noisy here as Matej Benoš goes for Slovakia. And Matej has won so many events over the time, but his World Championship record is actually not that great. He's won a medal, and I think that was, it may have been here back in 2011.
I don't remember. Yeah, maybe yes.
But certainly he will be hungry for a title here.
Yeah.
0.13. Well, he's set about in the right way. Looking very smooth, very fluid. The Olympic silver medalist from Rio 2016. He was 6th in Tokyo.
Yeah, he was really disappointed after his race in Tokyo. I could see it in his eyes, and he was really sad. I was sad also for him because he's a great paddler, and now he's paddling really well so far. He got a touch in the gate 13 and really tight.
So he's down on the split time, and part of that is that touch on gate 13, but he is just fighting that middle section a little bit. But how many times will he have done this drop? And he has timed it to perfection there. Matej Benoš now for Slovakia. Nice. He's got the line through 23. He's not going to take the race lead, but where will he slot in? He's going to slot in 95.57. That is into 5th place. So that's quite risky.
Yeah.
There are still 12 to go. So it's certainly going to be a little bit of a tense wait at the bottom of the course for Benoš of Slovakia. Yeah. Still, Anton leading for Germany ahead of Gargaud-Chanou of France and Elosegui of Spain. Straight into the next competitor, Nicolas Guestin of France, under-23 world champion of this season.
2-time world champion, under 23. Also really smooth paddler. Wow, this is good.
Always looks very composed, really working with the white water.
Whoa.
God, it's a bit late through there, but he keeps it clean, he keeps it on track.
And he keeps calm.
Just takes a touch from the bow of the boat on gate 9. But he does have the advantage. 0.3 shows his pace on the top section. That gate 8-9 move, that was where the big shock of the day so far. Jessica Fox, the Olympic champion in the women's canoe, took a 50-second penalty and will not be in this World Championship final. In and out nicely on 14. Guestin, France now through 16. This is the section. It's one of those moves, 17, 18. He's in touch. Well, considering he's got a touch, that's a fast time. It's a sub-90 time. And now, again, confident move on gate 20. Takes the bells really close to the poles, and he's rewarded for it.
This is good.
Nicolas Guestin of France goes for a place in the final here at the World Championships and into second place. Well, he goes ahead of his compatriot Denis Gago-Chanou. There is an asterisk against his name. I don't know which gate that is that's being reviewed. But anyway, it is Franz Anton for Germany, leading ahead of Nicolas Guestin of France, Denis Gago-Chanou of France. That's our top 3 with 11 boats still to go. So not long before we start to confirm our qualifiers. Wojciech Heger of the Czech Republic now on course. Switching for the upstream gate 3. Quite a few penalties on these first 2 upstream gates on the course, gate 3 and 4, but no problems for Heger in the early stages.
Boy, nice start. He's flying. Oh yeah, he's flying.
Wow, 1.24. Woohoo! This is a great start, and so important if you build into your run. If you get the first few gates and the feeling, it's tend to grow through your run, don't you, in confidence.
Yeah.
Now you're watching the World Championships live from Bratislava in Slovakia. It's the men's canoe semi-finals. Looking for who is going to be into that 10-boat final, and you can follow that live at Planet Canoe. 11:30 Central European time today, so just a short break after this, and we'll be straight into the finals. And he's kept the advantage.
Yeah, he cut the line, but he was really smooth also. Oh, the touch.
The bows of the boat bounce up as he drops over. Wojciech Heger of the Czech Republic has got to keep his cool down the bottom of the section.
Yeah.
He's done well. No additional penalties on the downstream.
Go.
2-second penalty is going to put him the wrong side of a group of people into 5th place. 94.43. He's pleased with that run, and he should be, because other than this move here on gate 20, that was a nice run. So 10 to go. We'll now get to a point of determining who is going to be into the final. Franz Anton leading for Germany ahead of Denis Gago-Chanou of France and Elosegui of Spain.
Should be qualified.
So that means that Nicolas Guestin has had a penalty added on.
Yeah.
So he's just been moved down to 5th place at the moment as a result of a review. I don't know which gate that was, but let's focus on the top of the course, because Italy's Flavio Micosi is on course.
Yeah, really young pilot too. I think he's 21 years old or even 20.
Yeah, 11th at the Under-23 Worlds this year, 10th at the Under-23 Europeans. So clearly starting to make his mark at Under-23 level. And well, some of these Under-23 athletes really race without fear. And you know, this is the opportunity to throw caution to the wind and go for a place in the World Championship final.
Really tight on the gate 13.
In fact, we saw that yesterday with the Italian Marcello Beda in the men's kayak event, who his first World Championship final.
Yeah.
Well, and he got a medal, silver medal.
Yeah, it was not too bad for him.
Not a bad day at the office.
Yeah. So Mikoti is doing well until now, or so far, and we will see the last drop. Really smooth too.
Tight in. He's gone a bit tight out.
Oh, yeah, really
That's
tight.
A very
exit.
brave exit.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's good choice to spin. So that tight exit is it's brave because he over-rotated getting back for 22. Damage limitation there, and into 11th place for Flavio Mikosi. It's a good run and a clean run. This course is brutal. It's relentless all the way down. And a great shot there as he just recovers himself on the last gate.
There is a star for Flavio about the gate 13, but they just removed it, so it's okay. He's clean.
So the third boat from the Czech Republic, it is Lukas Rohan, the silver medalist from the Tokyo Olympic Games.
Oh, this short exit. Lukas Rohan also is really great paddler. Czech, all of the Czechs are really good.
So he won the Prague World Cup race in the first part of the season, the first World Cup of the season, but a penalty there, and he's not quite in the right line there as he sets up through 8 and 9. But, well, 0.87, he's clearly got the pace because that includes that 2-second penalty. And Franz Anton for Germany, our race leader, is confirmed as our first qualifier into the World Championship final. That will get underway after the women's canoe final. 11:30 Central European time. We'll be live at Planet Canoe. Myself, Andy Maddock, and then alongside me, Martin Duguid, Olympian from the Tokyo Olympics, as we watch the final drama, as I'm sure it will be, unfold in this men's canoe semi-final. 0.73, so he's very much in touch with a place in the final.
Really in touch.
Lukas Rohan has not let that affect him, but
he jumped too early.
Just the bows flicking up. So many people that's happened to. Switches the blade, but is that another touch on 22? It is. And Rohan of the Czech Republic suddenly on his back foot. Stops the clock, 95.87 into 8th place.
What a time again, 89.87, wow.
Well, +6, and he's still in the mix. So respect to the silver medalist from the Tokyo Games, but I think today that will be a big ask to come into the final.
Yeah, we will see.
He's in 8th place, and we still have 7 to go.
Another Slovak.
Well, Marko Mirkorodski of Slovakia on course has been a real revelation this season in the World Cup. So consistent.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was his undoing. The one final he didn't make was the double points World Cup final. Otherwise, he would have been right in the mix to take that World Cup title. So he's taken the penalty on the downstream gate 5. Just caught it with his shoulder there, but he's quick. 0.03. Very different style, very attacking style.
Yeah. The difference, you can see sometimes the difference between him and Denis, for example. Denis is really smooth and really he keeps his paddle in the water and using the water. And he has more rhythm. I have the feeling Midorovsky, he has more rhythm and he's paddling faster than Denis, but taking a little bit more risk.
Well, he's certainly cutting the lines there. Direct 15, and he's paid the price there. Just a little bit too tight on 16. He's to settle it down now. 2.6 down. That's not a disaster, but he's got to stay focused on these last 5 gates. Great camera angle. You really get an idea of the scale of the drop, and it's a 50-second penalty.
Yeah.
Is he going to go back for it?
I guess.
I don't think he is. And Mirkorodski of Slovakia will not be in the World Championship final. At the moment, top Slovak is Matej Benuš in 6th place with 6 or 7 boats to go. So still uncertain whether we'll have a Slovak in the final. But disappointment there, and only 23rd place. But you can see how punishing this whitewater is. You just give it an inch, it'll take a mile.
Yeah, it's really hard course. We saw it with Jess 2 times. She got a 15 C1 woman, K1 woman. It was, not her days yesterday and today, unfortunately. Oh, Luis Fernandez.
Luis Fernandez now on course, and already a touch on the upstream gate 3. Kind of not seen too much of Louis in the senior circuit this season. 31st in Po, he missed out on the semi-final. But he's clearly got the pace. And another penalty there with the bows of the boat on the upstream gate 10, similar to the penalty he picked up on gate 3. So Franz Anton leads for Germany ahead of Denis Gago-Chanou of France and Ander Elosegui of Spain. Those three are in the final. So already some big names there, 2 world champions and a world championship silver medalist.
And 4 times Olympian for Elosegui. So yeah, the big names are in the final right now.
So now through here, Fernandez of Spain, a little bit sticky
not so bad
on,
with the touch.
18. You're right, he's still in touch. At the moment, that would put him around about 5th or 6th place. So if he can hold that, or if he can just slightly cut that deficit.
We will see the last few gates. Wow.
It's quite stressful watching, isn't it? At the bottom, as these athletes fight their way through this powerful water from the Danube River. And 97.39, 11th place. So guess bad news for Spain, but good news for the Czech Republic. Václav Chalupka, who had that blistering run early on with 4 seconds of penalties, is in the final. 6 to go.
So I'm gonna keep my breath now because Thomas Kirchlin is coming, my boy.
Thomas Kirchlin of Switzerland, who had a great semi-final in the World Cup final just 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Come on, Kirsch.
And well, he certainly leaves nothing on the river. He's always a really exciting attacking paddler.
Yeah, really strong paddler. He's really strong in the gym. You can see his muscles.
He was 7th at the World Championships in 2017, so no stranger to a World Championship final, and he is up on the split.
Yeah, really nice up. Come on, oh yeah, this is smooth. Woohoo!
So teammate Matan do good in the commentary box here, watching his every move, and well, a little bit sticky through 13, and apologies for that.
Sorry.
We'll just keep talking. Now, Kirchlin of Switzerland has been given a 50-second penalty on the downstream game 13. And while such are the margins in this sport that if you want to go for gold, you've got to be prepared to risk it all. And on this occasion, it's not going to be for Kirchlin of Switzerland.
Wow, this is smooth.
He really is showing us his class here, because that was an excellent upstream on 20. A little bit over rotation on 21 to 22. How did he hold on to that?
Yeah, I don't know, but he did it. So the time is really really fast.
So super fast time, 92.40, but just that 50-second penalty.
Yeah, we will see.
We'll see you again, Thomas, but not in the final today.
Yeah, I think it's a 50.
It's a tough call, but that means that Nicolas Guestin of France joins his compatriot Denis Gago-Chanou in the final.
Well done, Nico.
5 boats to go in this World Championship semi-final here. And then the fastest 5 boats from the heats. So Matija Marinic of Croatia on course now, 2020 Olympian, under 23 European champion. Quite a while ago, 2013, but that was on Borg Saint-Maurice, so I think he likes the big water.
Yeah.
So, well, there's big water here in Bratislava.
Yeah, he's really tall, and he has really long and big arms as well.
So he's 11th in the Tokyo Olympics this year. But a penalty. Is that a penalty, or was it a water splash on the upstream 10? No, a penalty showing now.
Oh.
No, a water splash, it's back off. Well, that's good news for Matija. And the advantage, albeit slight, that's all that is required. Remember, the job here is to get through into that World Championship final, into the top 10, and then go for gold in the final. We'll be live 11:30 Central European time this morning. So it gives you time to just grab a bite to eat, put the kettle on, and then get back installed for some exciting racing. So Marinic of Croatia over the bottom drop, buries the bows a little bit, and stuck on the eddy.
Oh,
it will be a little bit slower than some, but he has weathered the storm, and he's through nicely through the last 3 downstream gates. So Matej Marinic, though, the time is slipping away as he crosses the line, 100.08. And, well, that upstream gate 20, I think, cost him more time than we thought.
Yeah. I think he was not really in the eddy, he was between the eddy and the current. And so that's why it was really hard, and he lost maybe sometimes here.
So into 14th place for Matej Marinic of Croatia. And that means that Matej Benos of Slovakia, the Slovaks, have a finalist. And that will be a real boost for the big crowd growing here in the sunshine in Bratislava. Luka Bozic now on course for Slovenia. World Championship medalist last time out in 2019. And you never rule this athlete out.
This is really fast.
He always throws the boat around, doesn't he? Very confident in his delivery. And whoa,
it was really tight. Yeah.
It is a 50-second penalty. It's the angle we're looking at it is very difficult to judge, but he's been given a 50-second penalty, and I have to say his body language, as he just afterwards suggested that he agreed. Oh, that's a big shot. He was the World Championship bronze medalist in 2019. Always in the mix, always ready to pounce on the podium, but it's not going to be today for Bozic of Slovenia. And that means that Adam Burgess of Great Britain will be qualified into the final for his, I think that'll be his second World Championship final. Yeah. I think he made the 2015 World Championship final.
So if we look the results, it's quite, many touches have the athletes until now. Like only France, Dunny and Adam Burgess didn't get a touch.
So Luka Bozic paddling out his run. That big mistake on gate 9, a 50-second penalty, and down in 24th place. But another quick time, 92.76. But it is still Franz Anton leading ahead of Denis Gago-Chanou of France, and then Ander Elosegui of Spain. And we still have 3 to go. On course now, David Florence of Great Britain. Well, Great Britain just qualified a spot, Adam Burgess, and now the double world champion 2013 and 15. It's an Olympic silver medalist from Beijing in 2008, and has had a really good season this season. It's 2 silver medals in the World Cup, and he's kind of found his mojo again.
Yeah, I think he can, of course. He's really famous, he's really strong paddler, and also really smooth. Even if he's paddling, you can see on his face he's fighting. But it's really nice to watch him. Oh,
Precision on the upstream gate 11. Nicely done across the wave, and just having a little bit of a sticky patch through 12 and 13, but it looks like he's kept it clean as he runs into the upstream 14. So much time is changing hands in this middle section.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what David comes out on the second split with.
Wow,
1.95, well, that's still in touch with a place in the final. That's the job to be done now.
We're going to see the last drop in the last few gates. Come on, David.
Oh, yeah. Nicely done. How smooth was that? High risk, high reward. David Florence, but he's just taken a penalty on gate 22. And will that make a significant difference? He's got to beat 96.58. And it is. He had to beat 95.87. So actually, he is still in the mix for a place in the final, but it's not an automatic place. David Florence goes into 9th place, and that touch makes all the difference on gate 22. So David's misfortune is a benefit to Lukáš Rohan of the Czech Republic, who, with 6 seconds of penalties, qualifies for the final. Respect.
Yeah, respect, Lukáš.
Benjamin Savcek of Slovenia, the Olympic champion of this year, the world champion of 2017.
Another fast paddler, a legend for me.
He is. He's super consistent. His world championship record, because I think he's had 2 or 3 silver medals at world championships as well. That's that title he took in 2017. So very, very consistent paddler.
And he can be also in the final with +6 or +8 sometimes. It's really crazy. His board is just flying on the water. Ah, this is crazy, yeah.
Well, across the 4 World Cup series, he was on the podium on 3 occasions. So he had a third, then the 29th in Sao. We'll not talk any more about that one. And then straight back, silver medal in Po at the World Cup final. And look at that, nearly 1.5 seconds up on the split as he comes down to the business end of the course.
Oh my goodness. How did he do that?
Well, he is the Olympic champion and the world champion for a reason. And he'll breathe a sigh of relief when he crosses the line. But Savcek of Slovenia surely is going to take the race lead. And just inside.
Well done.
Wow. Benjamin Savcek, we will see you in the final. There is an asterisk against his name. I'm not sure which gate they're looking at.
Maybe they get 20? I don't know. Not for the 50, but maybe for a Dutch. Look this upstream. Wow.
Look at that. Well, it doesn't get any tighter than that on gate 20.
Oh my God.
He did well, didn't he, to get his bows round and still compose himself for 21. So Savcek provisionally into the race lead and into the final. So with 1 boat to go, it is David Florence of Great Britain sitting in 10th place and Alexander Slavkovsky of Slovakia going for gold here in his, well, it's not his home course because he comes from Liptovsky Mikulas, but it's
not
Slovakia.
too far away.
And how hungry is he for a world title?
Yeah.
He was the fastest in the heats.
He didn't win a world title until now. I don't think so.
No, he's won lots of team medals and he has won an individual medal at World Championship level, but never the gold. So the job now is to qualify through into the final.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
I heard he got struck by lightning a week ago. So I don't know any more than that, but well, he's obviously seeing it as a lucky omen.
Yeah. Crazy. Oh.
So a 2-second penalty. So 2.21 down, and then a 2-second penalty. So he can't afford any more mistakes as he comes towards the bottom part of the course. Super tight on the upstream. And Slavkovsky keeps his cool here in Bratislava. And surely he's into the final with this.
Well done.
Alexander Slavkovsky, supported by the home crowd, 92.75. Good job. You're in the final.
Wow, so many legends are in the final. It's crazy.
It's going to be a big one. And unfortunately, one legend not. David Florence just misses out in 11th place.
Yes.
But yeah, look at that lineup. Savcek, Anton, Slavkovsky, Gargo Canoe, Elosegi, and then you've got Benus, and then looking at the younger generation, you've got Chalupka, Gestin, Burgess, and Rohan. What a final that's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big final, and every one of these paddlers can get a medal for sure because they already got it.
So that is our top 10. They will race out in reverse order of the performance in that final. 11:30 Central European time. You can follow that. So not long now, actually, 20 minutes. You've got time for a bite to eat and some drink. But yeah, some big names miss out, like David Florence of Great Britain.
Yeah, take a big breath and enjoy the final on the TV.
So from myself, Andy Maddock, and Martin Duguid of the Swiss team, thank you for watching, and don't forget to join us in 20 minutes for the finals.
Yeah.
Goodbye for now. We'll see you then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.